The Republican Party is in really big trouble right now because they cannot raise enough money for the 2018 midterm elections. Right now, you have 43 sitting Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives up for election this year that have been outraised by their Democratic non-incumbent opponents. Furthermore, you have an additional 16 members on the Republican side of the House of Representatives that actually have less cash on hand than their Democratic opponent. When you add to that the number of Republicans from the House that have just said, screw it, I'm retiring and not seeking re-election this year, it all adds up to a very sad, pathetic state for the Republican Party ahead of this year's midterm elections. But don't worry, they're not blaming themselves for it. They're not going around saying, man, those horrible policies I enacted really hurt my chances at re-election. No. According to these Republicans who are being outraised by Democrats, this is all Donald Trump's fault. The taint of Trump spreads across the land. We just have too much anti-Trump sentiment in this country for any Republican to be able to raise enough money to beat a Democrat. That's what they're saying right now. And to an extent, there is some truth to that. Yes, the stench of Trump is hurting all Republicans. But see, what's happened in the last few years, or last year and a half, I should say, is that voters are no longer distinguishing between Donald Trump and the rest of the Republican Party. That separation doesn't exist anymore. Donald Trump is not a different breed of Republican. He is the current breed of Republican. And all of those people who refuse to stand up to him in Congress are just like him. They either tacitly or openly endorse what he says, what he does, and voters are pissed. That's what's happening here. That's why you can't outraise the Democrats at this point. And if Republicans think, oh, this is no big deal, we'll still win, the money will come. Yeah, historically, that's not true. In fact, the situation that we're looking at here ahead of the 2018 midterms is identical to what happened ahead of the 2010 midterms when the Democrats lost control of the House and Senate. You see, or at least the House, I should say. Democrats back then were being outraised by Republicans. There was this anti-democratic sentiment because of all the talk of death panels and socialism surrounding Barack Obama, and voters rejected that. And Republicans took more than 60 seats in that year's election. Pretty much the same scenario is most likely going to play itself out in the 2018 midterms. But Democrats need not get complacent. This is not a newfound love of the Democratic Party amongst the public. This is a rebuke of the Republican Party. So it's up to the Democrats to figure out how to sustain this and turn these people into long-term Democratic voters. If they, can figure out how to do that and right their ship. But right now, the Republicans are the ones whose ship is sinking even faster. And all they can do is sit there and blame Donald Trump for the horrible policies that these people have been pushing on us for decades before Trump even got into American politics. If you're thinking about subscribing to our channel, I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you're not thinking about subscribing, I would encourage you to start thinking about it, and then once you're thinking about it, actually go and do it. You can see the subscribe button right there on the screen, or if you're watching on a different platform, go to youtube.com/theringofFire.